Okay, so here's a good one. Animal Well. It's an old school classic style Metroidvania, and there are a lot of Metroidvanias out there these days, but this one is very old school in its approach. In Animal Well, you're dropped into the Animal Well, and it doesn't give you a reason why, it doesn't tell you what's up, it doesn't tell you the lore, it doesn't give you a story. It just drops you literally into the game and says, "Good luck, Chuck, have at it." And I love it. I love this approach. I really do like this. It's kind of weird. It's been such a long time since I played a game that's actually done that. It was almost refreshing. It makes me want to play some of the NES titles again that did something similar. So it was cool though. And right from the get go, I knew I was going to be in for something very spectacular just by the very nature of this game. And it has to do with the environments. Everything is dark and gloomy, and sometimes it honestly is kind of a hindrance, and I think that's the biggest complaint that I'll get into later. But let me just say, the environments though, like I said, dark and gloomy with a lot of different creatures, and you're just wondering, is this thing a friend? Is this a foe? Is it going to kill me? Can I use it in some way? And every single area that you're exploring just felt different and unique and interesting. And I think that's the whole point of Metroidvanias, is to keep you on your toes and always try to be interesting. And this game tries to do that by a lot of things. Like I said, from the environments and its tone to its lighting, and also from its power-ups. I love the power-ups in this game. Solving the puzzles with a slinky, for example, best thing ever. The fact that you can use a slinky, and there's a lot of cool power-ups that you get in the game that are all really cool. But a slinky, guys? Come on. If that's not 10 out of 10 worthy, I don't know what is. But the slinky was awesome, and all of the power-ups were useful. And every time you had to find and were able to discover a new egg and go to the little egg chamber and get to see your collection, it was so satisfying, man. Just, I really wanted to find all of these stupid eggs just so, because it made me feel good on the inside. The worst thing about this game had to do with the lighting. Now, I don't think a lot of people are gonna have problems with it, but I did. It was, like I said, it's dark and it's gloomy, but just by the very nature of itself being like this 8-bit retro style thematic thing with all of these cool puzzles and obstacles to overcome, it became a little bit difficult at times for me to see what I was supposed to do or even realize what I was even looking at times. And that's kind of a negative in my opinion. I want to at least be able to see things properly for what they are. And due to the shading and the dark and gloomy nature of the game, sometimes even going into a new room, I had to pause for a second just to even discover where my character was. I mean, I would literally be like, okay, where's my guy? Oh, he's on the right side now, and I'm dead. But as the game did progress on, I did become like almost my eyes became more adjusted to the environments because I started noticing my character easier. I started being able to identify obstacles and objects that I could use to try to get around the environments. It did become easier as the game moves on, for better or for worse though. But just bear in mind that the lighting in this game and just the darker nature of all the environments, it can mess with your eyes a little bit for those that have hard time seeing, which I don't. When maybe that's the problem, but yeah, the lighting was a little off for me. But that's the only thing that was really off for me, man, because the sound effects, oh my gosh, the sound effects are so good. It's so good, and every single time I was able to slowly but surely progress, it just felt really good. And honestly, it's felt like it's been a few years since I've had a Metroidvania that really just stood out to me. I think the last one I can recall playing was Ori and the Will of the Wisp, but maybe there was another one in there in between the time frame from that game and this one. But Animal Well, guys, it is a stellar video game, one that I highly recommend. I'm certain you've probably heard it. It's one of the bigger indie titles this year, and it's one that I can definitely approve of as well. So now let's talk about the letter grade, and for those of you that aren't familiar, I give letter grades instead of number scores in these overrated reviews, A being the best, F being the worst, and Animal Well, so close to achieving that A. But I'm gonna go with an A minus. It's good, man. It is so fun. Trying to piece together the lore, solving every single puzzle, feeling accomplished by it, the exploration side of things, the sound effects, the creepy critters that are everywhere. I mean, just everything about this game is almost something that you can love. The power-ups, man, the slinky. It's just like I said, just a few little minor things like the lighting and stuff like that. That's the only things that brought it down a slight peg for me. But overall, come on. This is excellent. This is a Game of the Year contender, easily, as far as I'm concerned. Animal Well is a stellar game. Again, from a single person that's been developing this game. Kudos to that guy. Amazing job. You did fantastic. I am proud of you, if nothing else. This concludes my overrated review. Guys, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And as always, let me know what you thought of Animal Well, if you've played the game or not. And I'll catch you on the next one. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout. Stay fresh, my friends. And I'll see you next time. Take care.